The idea of around the world in 80 days is something which is quite strong in certainly British culture because of the book by Jules Verne. And I started thinking that how quickly could humans go around the world these days? When we discovered that it was 90 minutes, that seemed to have a really nice shape to it. And then, like any idea, you then say, well, what are we going to show? And it seemed to lead on from how long it takes humans to go around the world to how much changes around the world in 90 minutes.
Around the World in 90 Minutes had some extremes of locations, not just climatic, but one day I'd find myself being thrown around in a helicopter above a ranch in Texas. 2 days later I'd be in an Ethiopian maternity ward filming babies. It was pretty extreme.
We've seen a lot of brilliant animal documentaries over the past few years. I find that I'm more fascinated by people, and I like the idea that television allows you to look at people. So I was quite often telling Mike and the rest of the crew when we were shooting this, I wanted this to be a show where we looked at people as if they were animals in a really affectionate way, and not all the time castigating them for things they did wrong, but celebrating human ingenuity, celebrating human life, and showing the diversity of human life around the planet. That seemed to be a really beautiful idea which lent itself to being explored in this 90-minute format. The most difficult shoot for us was actually Cherrapunji, the wettest place in the world. We went in the middle of the rainy season when it should have been at its wettest, and of course for 3 or 4 days it didn't rain. With this whole project we were on a very tight schedule. When you're visiting this many locations, you can only stay 2 or 3 days, and if the thing that you've gone to film isn't there on the day that you plan it in your schedule, it's a nightmare.
I think the sequence I'm most happy with is the northeastern Bengal Cherrapunji rain sequence, where we alter the shutter speed to capture the raindrops, and some bits actually look like little diamonds falling.
One of the most worrying locations for me was Texas. The space we were dealing with was so vast, and you can quite easily find that you point a camera into that and even 18,000 cats will get lost, and it doesn't look like anything very exciting. Luckily we were working with amazing helicopter pilots who were able to get us right up close to the cattle, and were brilliant at coordinating between themselves. So we got some really dramatic footage of the helicopters corralling cattle across the plains of Texas, which I was thrilled about. But also just spending time with the cowboys was like stepping back into the 19th century. You really felt that little had changed out there, and it was really quite a privilege to be there.
I think one of the scenes I'm most pleased with is probably the USS Nimitz sequence. I think that, to me, was so exciting. It was very exciting being there, travelling out to the location, landing on the deck of an aircraft carrier, being catapulted off again at 170 miles an hour. The travelling in and out was exciting, but when we were there, it was fascinating. Truly, truly one of the most dangerous places I've ever been. You've got huge machines, jet engines burning, blazing, aircraft loaded with weapons, people, helicopters landing, people moving around. It's a seriously busy and very, very dangerous environment.
I'd say the highlight for me was Ethiopia. I was really blown away by the landscape and the people. It's a wonderful country, and you do get quite a sense of going back to the cradle of mankind when you're there. It feels a very beautiful and inspiring place to be. So of all the locations, I'd say that Ethiopia was by far the highlight for me. When we made this film, we didn't want it to be too preachy. We wanted to point out some of the things which went on around the world, beautiful things, amazing things and shocking things, and then let the viewer make up their own mind about them. I think that there are some locations, like seeing the rubbish in Hawaii, which can't help but shock you and make you question your behaviour. But I hope there's other places like Korea or Japan where it simply makes you celebrate human achievement. When we reached Provence in France, our final location, for me that was a way of really crystallising how quickly the world's population is growing. And I didn't want this to be something that was a bad thing that was telling people how awful the human race was. I really just wanted people to think about the impact of population growing that fast. If we are creating a town of 13,000 people every 90 minutes, then we need to start adjusting our behaviour accordingly. We can't just use the world's resources willy-nilly.